Help!
Modify the Atari Jaguar, a PAL Atari Jaguar, 50 Hz to 60 Hz full screen. Now let's first get this console open. There are 4 screws, as I'm pointing out. Easy to open Phillips screwdriver. This mod is a entry-level mod. You do need a soldering iron, but you do not need any particular skills to do this. Honestly, it's very hard to mess up, so you know, feel free to follow this guide to do it yourself. And obviously, at your own risk, should you somehow be able to mess up your console. It's not my responsibility, obviously. But yeah, let's go and open up this console and see what we can find in here. Sometimes I'm having a hard time with opening stuff, and yeah, I tend to cut my finger on consoles. Anyway, there's this shield that we need to remove, where we need to bend a bunch of pegs to get this open. It's a bit of a pain to actually get it open, but eventually you'll see how to do it. And getting into the console, we can see the motherboard here. This is the top side. Now we are going to remove a resistor from the underside, so we do need to get it out of here. It is located somewhere behind and under controller port 2. So let's get rid of these 4 screws that are left on the motherboard to get the motherboard fully out, so that we can reach the underside. Now, just to keep you busy as I struggle a bit getting it out, this is obviously to gain the full speed. The games, as they were programmed originally, were programmed on 60 Hz. So anybody in the PAL region that is, you know, dealing with 50 Hz, I strongly recommend doing this mod. Now you can see this is controller port 2. And on the underside, about or near the controller port 2, you have this resistor. I will zoom in a moment to show you how that looks like. Now this is just a bridge. This resistor does nothing. You can see it's 000. It's just there to basically identify the console as a PAL 50 Hz and to boot in PAL 50 Hz. So, you know, let's get the microscope in there. Let's put some flux on it. Now you could do this without flux, but you'll make it a bit messy because the old solder will be hard to move, so you'll probably burn the motherboard a bit. Now don't get too worried if it's not too nice looking if you do burn it, as long as you don't really do any damage. It should be fine even with some burn marks, but I'm adding flux anyway. It makes things easier. I'll just put my soldering iron against it and I'll be able to yeah, move it very easily off its place, as you can see, because I added some fresh solder. Again, you do not need to add fresh solder, you do not need to add flux, but I do strongly recommend you do to make your life easier and to potentially prevent any damage. So I'm cleaning it up a bit with alcohol. You know, I could wick that extra solder off, but I'm not too worried about that. We achieved what we wanted to achieve. It's literally to just remove that small jumper resistor. Nothing more, nothing less. And now the console is 60 Hz, full screen, full speed, as it should be, as it was designed to be. We really got yeah, the worst of the worst here in Europe with our 50 Hz PAL standard. Unfortunately, well, the resolutions could have been slightly higher here and there, but the speed really killed it for everybody, and obviously the full screen as well. So now testing the console. console now that we've screwed everything back together. Everything seems to be working, so that's good. I did not manage to break it, did not expect it to be broken, but you know, you always need to double check, who knows. So here we are testing Burnout, Super Burnout. It's a fast-paced game. It's actually a quite good game on the Atari Jaguar. And yeah, you could briefly see it. Maybe if you jump back a little, when it booted, my upscaler actually showed it's 60 Hertz now. We will do a side-by-side comparison in a moment, because yeah, you wouldn't know the difference just by looking at this, but this is the way it should have run, and it should run originally. Again, full screen, 60 Hertz, just like we wanted. So let's move on to the side-by-side. On the top you will see the 60 Hertz full screen NTSC, and below the original 50 Hertz PAL. Which will have black bars on the top and underside of the screen, because it's not full screen, unfortunately. And it will run slower. As you might notice, I started these consoles at exactly the same time, and the upper screen, the 60 Hertz one, the modified one, is running much faster, as you can see. Right, and it's important, more or less. Some games it's really a big change and a big difference, and in some games a little bit less, but nevertheless this is how they originally meant to play, so this is what we want. So if you followed this easy tutorial, you still have any questions, don't hesitate to drop me a message or a comment. I will happily help you out in sorting or getting your console modified to 60 Hertz. That is basically it. There's nothing more to add. This is the easiest mod that you can imagine, honestly.
Point attack.